You'll know that things have gone back to normal after the pandemic once they start shooting up schools again. All schools have a contingency plan in the event of an active shooter. 1, lock the door. 2, pack students against walls. 3, turn off the lights. 4, hide. On my classroom window glass, one of my students has attached the following quote: "The world didn't end with a bang, but a whimper." T.S. Eliot. After the last school shooter treated Newtown, Connecticut first graders as if they had been born with bullseyes attached to their sternums, one of my students, Cameron, asked me what I would do if bullets ever kissed and chewed their way through my classroom glass. I joked that I could be on the ground in 3 seconds. But 3 seconds is too long in the modern age because America's classrooms have become open invitations to cowards who would turn schools into shooting galleries. 1, know that when you lock the door, you're hoping to drown the sound of girlish giggles enough to not become a target. Don't make your girls a target. 2, pack students against walls. Maximize your classroom's blind spots. Hope that the gunman is half blind in both eyes or preferably only has one. 3, soak students in darkness. Give the impression of false emptiness like empty tooth sockets and early graves. Teach them to overturn desks and take refuge like so many atheists in foxholes, except there are never any atheists in foxholes or bullet-riddled classrooms either. 4, hide. Shrink down their essences. Teach them to exist only behind tightly squeezed eyes that have been sealed shut with Elmer's glue. Arm them with the blunted blades of safety scissors that barely cut paper and will never puncture a gunman's skin. My final act of authority is supposed to be a command for them to clasp heads in hands lest they be assigned detention for not saving their own lives. Another question from Cameron. So what if I go to the bathroom and I'm on my way back, but they call hot lockdown and you already locked the door? You gonna let me in? Fact, you do not cry in front of 9th graders. To them, the tears of adults smell too much like fear and weakness, and they have enough of that in their mirrors. But in that moment, I do, because I don't know how to answer that question. Whose parent could I look in the eye while grief folded them over like secret notes passed among roads? How do I tell my students that my only defense against madness is going to be college-ruled notebook paper margins and textbook policies that were never made with them in mind in the first place?
Wow. Wow. Speak that.
So, the unofficial contingency plan for my classroom is to be brave. Scream until my throat is sore, rough, and ragged enough to produce fragments of glass to impale him. Maximize the space between their heartbeats. Force them to live more and slowly so I could teach them, go lock the door. 1, no one can ever make you be silent as you die. Declare yourself Nikki Giovanni bad and you ego trip in your final moments. 2, get up against the walls. I would teach them about phoenixes and transformation. Make myself Mexican Llorona because my grief would be eternal. 3, turn off the lights. I would let banshee bellows pull in the hollow of my throat and use my tongue to chop the waves. 4, Cameron, hide. Hide in the caves that my arms form because the only world we've left you is one where this is normal enough to merit a discussion. Hide, because on that day, a poet would have been wrong. The world did end with a bang, but that doesn't mean that we whimpered.